Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Robotics Notes Elite. In the last episode, Tanuji and Kaito Yashio, bid each other farewell, with Nai flying off back towards Tokyo for a few months, and Kaito remaining firmly on the island of Tanegashima. But now is the time to actually move on with the events of Robotics Notes Elite, because we definitely weren't going to let things end there. Also on a side note, you may notice that we're at a completely new location, Tanegashima Hospital. Central Tanegashima Hospital, I might add. Very fancy looking building on this remote island that only has a few locales open to it. Don't worry, this doesn't involve anything important right about now, but as you can see, it has its very own geotag. Tanegashima General Hospital, open 8:30 to 12 and 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Closed Saturday, Sundays and holidays. Wow, you would think that a general hospital wouldn't be closed on the weekends, but apparently so. And there's a phone number. I went back and got pretty much all of the geotags up until this point. Which is going to be very important for side reasons, obviously. The hospital is geotag number 10, and you're pretty much going to be seeing me getting all of the geotags from this point onward. Right now we're supposed to be looking for the third Kimijima Report, which by and large is actually still the cabin on Hamada Beach. Funnily enough, if you go to the wrong location 10 times, you get a very interesting, very amusing achievement. I can't find it, which is very hilarious. But as you can see, we have some more tweets from everyone. There's one from Akio. Uncle Kanaide may look intense, but really he's just annoying. But maybe it's only because when he talks to me. Yeah, I'd get that my requests don't make that much money, but he doesn't have to point it out. Did you complain about the inferior goods you were given? You need to speak up for yourself. Indeed. Let's see, we've got quite a few tweets from Junna here. When I'm by myself, I'm able to focus. Maybe I'm not meant to work with other people. I think it's amazing you can still try your best even when no one's watching. You're winning the battle against yourself. Yeah, let's end this one. Yeah, I feel like we made the right call with this one. Yeah. We're not going to respond to that one. We're not going to respond to that one in the slightest. I think we're done here. There's no reason to stay at Tanegashima Hospital. The report is clearly not here. Even if we looked for it, it's clearly not here. Yeah, I'm gonna be jumping ahead in time to when we actually get to Phase 6 or Chapter 6, so I shall see you all soon. Alright everyone, we're back on the 25th of August 2019. The moment where Kaito and Akio both witnessed the terrifying, rough video of the final gun barrel episode. The one that foreshadowed the events of the third Kimijima Report, and on that subject, there are a few things that I actually noted. Things that Ivory mentioned about Ko Kimijima from when Kaito and Ivory first met. Now, obviously, well, she said that Ko was born in 1977 and died in 2010, aged 32. Okay. But she also mentioned that Ko logged his first report on the 7th of November 2009. And that he wasn't just responsible for creating the IRUO app that we've been using to find these reports, and along with all the geotags and everything, but he was also responsible for creating the company Happiness for You, which was something I kind of glossed over back then. But there was also something that she said that that I missed the first time, and is kind of suspicious. Irie, or rather Sister Centipede, mentioned that the first Kimijima report had been accessed on the 31st of August 2011, after Code Kimijima was murdered. Now, one might think that Irie would have accessed the report, since that would be the logical conclusion. But here's the thing. The report is was meant to be locked for this time up until the moment which Kaito found it. Well, then again, Irie did have the password, which is Hidden Hand, so she could easily have locked it and unlocked it herself, but being that she's an artificial intelligence program to protect the Kimijima reports until someone she trusts, aka Kaito, can unlock them with all the various flags, I don't think Irie and Sister Centipede would do such a thing, so that begs the question. Who read the first report back in 2011? I wonder. But, this rabbit hole, we have to keep venturing forward. Deeper and deeper. So let's go. And whoa! Whoa, this is new. This is totally new. Moving on to Phase 6. Until there's at least one thing you like about them. Mesosphere encoder. We're at the airport on the 13th of September, and we're with Junna. A lone dragonfly flies across the pale orange sky, and she's lying either on the grass or on the asphalt, kind of like Kaito would if we were playing Kill Ballad. I stare mindlessly as the sky fades into the deep color of the sunset. I want to cry, I consciously think to myself. That's, unfortunately, that's typical of Junna's personality. Back when I first visited the club, Yashio-kun recommended for me to try lying sprawled out on the runway, but I didn't really have the chance until now. Summer vacation has ended, and here I am, alone at the airport. Something like this hasn't happened since I first joined the Robotics Club. Well, it's a good thing that summer is over, because that asphalt would be burning hot under the summer sun, but I wouldn't recommend lying on it too much. It feels almost like I have the entire airport to myself. Well, if you're the only person currently there, that's exactly how it is. And so the first thing I did was lie down on the runway, stretch myself out, and gaze up toward the sky. Once again I tell myself things like, I want to cry and this is where I'll cry. But those heart-rending feelings, the kind that are supposed to make your chest tighten up, never come to the surface. No loneliness, no happiness, not a single emotion. My mind is completely blank. Whenever I look at scenery like this, I don't get emotional. I don't feel any deep-seated emotions bubbling to the surface. I don't feel anything at all. It's kind of the same way in which she's, whenever she's practicing her kata by herself, without anyone watching, mind you. Perhaps all these feelings were missing because ever since I was little, I've been doing nothing but karate, even though you've given up on doing so professionally. It's the same even now. Tragically, Junna is still self-conscious in the midst of other people. It's not like my emotions usually disappear like this. After all, I've been crying almost non-stop since I joined the Robotics Club. Things like, it's too scary, or I can't do it, or it's embarrassing. It's been hard, yeah, especially dealing with an overbearing personality like Sumio to boot. Now, for the first time in your high school life, you can relax. If you can... Yeah, we'll call this relaxing. A sigh escapes my lips. Every member of the Robotics Club is hard to deal with in their own way, but I don't dislike them. Still. A gust of wind nearly flips up on my skirt, so I force myself to sluggishly get up. Yeah, if it's not the sun, it's the wind. My eyes wander. From the runway, the apron where the Robotics Club hangar is located appears a bit higher than usual. But I can still see it, just barely. Right next to the hangar, still sprawled out on the ground and covered with a sheet, is the super huge Model 1 Kun. The disappointment of a robot that was retired after he failed to produce results. The expectations of society. He reminds me of myself. I think back on when our sponsor's president made me the pilot of Model 1 Kun. I cried and refused and cried some more, and in the end I didn't pilot him. The reason I said no was because I was scared. And you were. It was because of the fear of a robot much bigger than me. Well, as Kaito himself can attest, and he certainly did, he was just as terrified being inside of the quote-unquote cockpit of Gunbuild 1.
バカ野郎何考えてやがんだなんてことをしてくれたなんてことを
I wonder, was Sumio talking to himself? Was he talking to Junna about how she refused to pilot Gunbuild 1? But even if she did, whether it be Kaito or Junna or anyone else, that wouldn't have changed the fact that in its current state, Gunbuild 1, in the words of Sumio himself, lacked impact. Fear. Unlike Akio, I can't love robots, but I ended up staying in the Robotics Club anyway, because she's still afraid of her grandfather, Fujita, as well as something that she came across in his robot clinic. No, it's not that I can't love them. It's that I can't get over my fear, even after I spent all of summer break trying to. I still think that robots are terrifying. After that encounter, I joined the Robotics Club as a casual replacement for karate. But robots, the Robotics Club, they can't replace karate for me. Karate kept me going because no matter how weak I was, I still loved doing it. But the Robotics Club...
私はここにいてもいいのかな
Anyway, a brand new day. 14th of September 2019. September and the new school semester is in full swing. The days of the Robotics Club, focusing solely on robots, are over. And we got some tweeps on Twippo. And we shall look out. My counselor said attending college would be hard for me. I did terrible in that last test before summer. Two of these are very, very Kaito personality, but yeah, despite his usual attitude, Kaito actually is going out of his way to try and make Junna feel better, and Akio as well, though she tends to be a bit more emotional about it. But anyway, there are colleges you don't need to go, that you don't need to take a test to get in. Why not go to one of those? We've got all these other ones. Oh, also, by the way, yeah, Junna still unfortunately makes the occasional typo, as ever, and has to correct it. Lots of students at the dojo. Thinking about my brother's schooling. Maybe I should get a job instead of going to college. Nowadays it's pretty hard to find a job. Not too many places hire high school graduates. That they don't. Anyway, more reading. can't stay like this, can't be playing all the time. There's only half a year left till graduation. A notification from Mr. Pleiades. I'm saddened about the riots still going on in America. I pray that it will end soon, and that the Robo 1 World Championships will be held. I won't say that robots can save the world, but we can pray to stop the fighting over robots. That is something I and everyone can do. Yeah, thanks for that, Subaru. Attention, Robotics Club members. Meet at the Space Center tomorrow. I will show you something amazing. I know he told me not to use his name since he'll be exposed, so I'm gonna call him number 1 sassy young member Robotics Club member S-Kun on Twitter from now on. Something tells me that Frau will definitely approve of that. Call it a hunch. Some moaning from Michi. I got the August blues. August is over. And my sister Braun. Tokyo feels more humid than Tanegashima. The atmosphere here is also a little tense. I really feel it after experiencing the mellowness of Tanegashima. Also, oh, and the sky is also pretty narrow. See you soon. See you soon. And now we have to deal with this. Summary of the leaked final episode of Gun Barrel. Episode 56. I'm wondering. Read this. I have a feeling we yeah. Does everyone die? Is it the last episode? Main staff are not involved in other projects after Gun Barrel. Grand Obelisk shoots the sun and then the power goes berserk and destroys Earth. Isn't it kind of close to our situation? Feels like they're talking about the solar storm. Funny that, Fuka. Funny, absolute funny coincidence that. And not the haha kind of funny. I watched the last episode slow down and for a second there's a weird video mixed in. I'll upload the capture so take a look. It's around at the 41-second mark. I didn't catch that. That's quite good observation there. I pulled out some of the subliminal messages, but most of it was incomprehensible. Confirmed 107 of Shibuya. Oh god, Building 107 of Shibuya. That brings back memories. Also, Yukichi Fukuzawa. Is that a name? Is that a name that I'm not familiar with? I don't feel like it is. What matters is if the video always had subliminal messages from the start or if somebody added it in. That's a good point. Looking at the video more and more feels like a waste of effort, nothingness. Subliminal messages confirmed. Video is rough, but 19 subliminal messages. Footage shows it's super confusing. Shibuya's 107 building, space shuttle, black and white photo from World War II, the face of Yukichi Fukuzawa. Feels like there's a meaning there, but you have to force a meaning. Isn't that what a conspiracy theory is? We shouldn't flip the story to a conspiracy theory. Final episode was uploaded and confusing subliminal messages were stuck in there. That itself should be treated as a case. Anyone who reported it because we're too chicken to, what did they mean? What is the meaning behind this? Someone must have wanted us to see them. Yeah, exactly, Progression. The old man that's feeling nostalgic about the old times is telling us kids who don't know how good it used to be to study. Corporate slave, basically getting a job, subliminal messages, advertising. Wonder who uploaded it. Leaked final episode. They inserted in 2015 or inserted in 2019. Who can say? Who can say? Already got all these. Nothing here. Anyway, on with the semester. Seems like Akio and Subaru are hashing out the finer details of Model 2's design. However, that leaves me, the operator, Junna, the sub-operator slash mocap leader, and Frau, the programmer, with nothing to do, as per usual. People online are still theorizing about Gun Barrel's final episode, but the commotion started to die down before it could turn into a huge social phenomenon, as if that weren't enough. Also, people are saying that based off the activity of the sun, a solar storm on the level of the crash of 15 is coming very soon, as it was written in the third Kimijima Report. I keep saying that, but it still hasn't come yet. Naturally, the effect of the solar storm that hit Western America is starting to be felt by other nations, but it hasn't gotten nearly as bad as the crash of 15. Aside from America getting bogged down with by the riots, the other countries got away with only a few days of confusion. In the end, the stuff written in the Kimijima reports has been nothing but hyperbole and other BS. Looks like Kimijima was nothing more than a conspiracy nut job. But was he, Kaito? Was he really? The police appear to be investigating the deaths of the KB cheaters, but there's been no progress on that end. Yeah, once again, hate to break it to you, Kaito, but they're not the ones who were doing the cheating, on account of the fact that they've been dead. But oh well. Because of that, despite all the unsolved mysteries scattered about, I can enjoy a few unexpected days of peace, quiet, and Kill Ballad. Oh, there are still mysteries that we will have to solve in the near future. Or so I'd hoped. Yeah, that's always the way. For some reason, I find myself at the beach today.
Eka, Hinawa wo tsukeru zo.
It's Sumio. Didn't he mention something about a gunlock match test on Twipo? That was one of the flags for the next report. Oh god.
Hi.
I see what you did there. Well, that's one way to get one of the flags down. I'm holding a gun pointed toward the ocean. It's an old matchlock gun in mint condition. The barrel is less than a meter long. Supporting it on my left arm, I place my right index finger on the trigger. The Space Candy President places a lit-up rope between the fire tongs, kind of like a firing hammer of his gun. Yeah, it needs a fuse. That's how old a gun it is. The sound of the rope burning reaches my ears clearly.
もっと引きつけんか。しっかり構えんと反動で持っていかれるぞ。
You know what, Sumio? That's a far better pro tip than anything that your nephew has ever given me. Trust me.
いや、でも。
Then again, Kaito's not used to holding such an unwieldy gun. At this point, I'm holding the gun so close that it's practically glued to my cheek. If I hold it any closer, won't the sparks hit my face when the gun fires? I'm wearing some plastic safety goggles, but it's not enough to make me feel any less freaked out. Will the goggles do anything, or will they do nothing? Let's find out. Ah, fine. Here goes nothing. When I pull the trigger, the fire tongs strike against the flash pan and light the gunpowder. The bullet explodes out of the barrel with a thunderous roar. I can't withstand the recoil and end up falling on my ass. Well, at least you're on the beach. The sharp smell of gunpowder stings my nostrils.
どうだインパクトあるじゃろ
You and your love for impact.
だが君の打ち方全くなっとらんあんなへっぴり腰じゃ当たる球も当たらんよ
Everyone's a critic. Also, we're not trying to shoot fish.
俺には無理ですよ。
I give the gun back to the president immediately
だ
after.
が若いのに火縄銃に興味を持つのは感心するのどうだ来年の鉄砲祭りでも甲冑着て撃ってみんか
This is a one-time deal, Sumio.
遠慮しておきます。
It's not that I have an interest in matchlocks or anything. Of course not. I'm only doing this because of the stupid flag for Kimijima Report number 4. One of the flags wanted me to fire a matchlock gun. I figured it'd be near impossible, but then I heard the president here was a member of the Gun Festival promo committee. When I talked to him about it, he went out of his way to get permission from the police to let me shoot. How very convenient. Our beloved Space Candy president is truly something else. As for the gun, I never want to shoot it again for the rest of my life.
Airi-chan, Airi-chan, iru?
After stepping away from the president and the promo committee members who brought the gun, I stealthily summoned Irie. And there she is. Hello again.
明日の種子島屋久島地方の降水確率は 40%。
She will never get tired of talking about the weather. It's just the kind of AI she is.
天気予報はいいから。
はい。
君島レポートのフラグを確認してよ。火縄銃を撃つっていうフラグ、ちゃんと達成したことになってる？
はい、なってます。
That's one down. The least impossible of them all. Because the other ones involve, capturing, rocket launchers from 4 different positions on the island. 2 parks, the viewing platform, and the observatory. In a time where there hasn't been a rocket launch on the island for quite a number of years.
何しろ、アイリがちゃんと見てましたから。
You watched everything, Kaito, even the fail. Maybe Irie is the one checking to see if I've set the flags, or maybe she just checks automatically. Yeah, that's it. As I worked on each one, I began to suspect as much. I think the reason I get cut some slack at times is because Irie, this odd but amazing little AI, is calling the shots. It's almost as if she wants you to unlock the Kimijima reports. In fact, there was this one flag. Upload photos of 4 different rocket launches from 4 different suggested viewing points around Tanegashima to IIUO. Rather than taking the pictures myself, I uploaded some old photos somebody else took, and it still worked. Because of that, the flag went from impossible to easy. Workaround, cheese and go. In fact, I actually did that with the, by we I of course mean Kaito. Kaito did that with the go-kart time flag as well. Well, that makes that awfully convenient. But however lenient she was, whenever I asked Ivy directly to fudge with a few of the flags for me, she always told me no with a sad look on her face. I went to Frau to see if she could hack a diary for me, maybe set all the flags or change her programming or something, but she said it'd be too difficult. Yeah, Kimijima really is something else when it came to Ivy's programming. But at least we know that we can find a loophole with some of the flags, just not all of them. I guess I have to demonstrate with at least a bit of effort when trying to satisfy the flags. As long as I do that much, she doesn't sweat the details. Ever since I figured that out, things have gotten a lot easier. I doubt it will stay that way for the later flags.
フラグチェックします。
How many have we got left?
君島レポートナンバー4のフラグは
And of course she has to go through them again, because that's how it is.
君島レポートナンバー3を発見している。ゲジネより注釈。フラグ1はすでに達成済みです。
First flag.
2、種子島の4カ所のおすすめポイントから撮影したロケットの打ち上げ写真をイルワンにアップロードする。
Second flag, completely
ゲ
cheese.
ジネより注釈。フラグ2はすでに達成済みです。3、ロボクリニックに保管されている小次郎くんを起動する。
Ah, that's it. Gojiro-kun. Which, since it's being kept at the robotic clinic, is probably the robot that forever traumatized poor Junna.
4、ジオタグを付与した火縄銃を一発以上試射する。
Yeah, note test fire. Well, Kaito test fired
ゲ
it.
ジネより注釈。フラグ4はすでに達成済みです。
So our last order of business is to head back to the dock.
以上ですよ。
Alright, the matchlock flag is done. All that's left is to push the activation switch on Gojiro-kun at the robot clinic. I've made no progress on this one, for obvious reasons. I dropped by the clinic at least 3 separate times over the past couple of weeks, but I get turned away every time thanks to Akio's ban. Fujita is stubborn when he wants to be. When he's in a bad mood, yeah. Damn Akio, way to make things difficult. It's not her fault, Kaito. Definitely not her fault. And the following day, back at the Tanegashima National Space Center. But that will wait until next time. So when we return, adventurers, well, let's see what else Kaito is getting up to besides trying and failing to try and achieve that final report flag. As always, until next we meet.